Hello and welcome to ShipIt for AccountMate demo. AKA Consulting is an AccountMate partner and third-party solution provider. We have been providing shipping solutions for AccountMate since 1995. Today I will be demonstrating ShipIt for AccountMate, a full integrated shipping solution. We utilize ShipRush as our shipping processing engine, and we provide the direct integration between AccountMate and ShipRush. There are two versions of ShipIt, Lite and Pro. I will first provide a demo of the Lite version, following by the Pro version. So after installing the software, you will have various new menu options throughout the system. First thing is to set how do you want the software to behave and map the ship via codes that you currently use in AccountMate, the appropriate services for each carrier. So if I go here to maintenance, the first thing to do is I will go to shipping settings. As you can see, all these menu options are new. We added to the system. The first thing is to go to shipping settings. This is where you set up the entire system. Basically, you tell it how do you want to, for example, if you have a minimum insurance value of 100, maybe you don't want to insure boxes for anything less than $500, you can put here your $500, and then the system will not send any declared values that are under 500. The default document when you are shipping using the shipping interface, it's sales order. You can default it to any of these documents. Then the next thing would be to, if you want to bring the declared value into the system for insurance or not, as well as if you want to bring the weight from packages into the system. If you don't have an electronic scale, you can set up the weights on each item and it will send them automatically to the shipping system. The next thing here is how do you want to handle the freight for sales orders, shipments, and invoices. For each one of those documents, you have the option to either overwrite and replace the value that is on the sales order, overwrite and add. So if you have, let's say, for example, $10 already, and you want to add whatever the shipping charges, let's say there's $25 and you have 10 already, then we'll make it 35. Do not overwrite at all, meaning that it will respect whatever shipping charges you have on the order and not overwrite them. The other one is ask you at the time of shipping if you want to overwrite or not. And the last one would be to overwrite partial ship. The next thing would be obviously for the shipments and invoice documents, kind of the same explanation as before. The next thing here would be for general references, like for sales orders, shipments, and invoices, what fields do you want to bring into the shipping document when you're shipping? So you can pull down and select sales orders, customer number, PO number, or items. So you have the choice for reference 1 and reference 2. These are the references that show in the carrier, and they print also on the labels. There's one for general, there's another one for UPS, and there's another one for FedEx. So there are 3 different tabs. Also, the next portion here is what email do you want to bring into the system? We'll give you the option to select here to program where do you want to grab the email that sends a shipment notification to the customer, which is really nice. It's very flexible, and it gives you an explanation there how to do it. The next thing would be to the same thing with the tracking number. If you want to add the tracking number to a particular field, we allow you to do that, and you have the flexibility. The account number field and the bill freight, where do you want to grab them from? So all these are programmatic options for you to grab this information from different fields. This allows for customized systems that might have the information in different fields other than the default. The next thing would be to configure your ship vias. And this is where you would save, on the left side, you have all the ship vias that are in AccountMate. And you have FedEx, for example, in the UPS and UPS second day air. And on the right is what service, based on the shipping services that you utilized, we support obviously FedEx, UPS, and USPS. And here it allows you to select, for example, for FedEx, what service of FedEx you want to map that to. The next field here, the template file, that's if you have certain, if you have like special needs for certain customers or for certain ship vias on a particular default settings on the shipping system. This allows you to pick a safe template from the shipping system. And the last one is if you have, for example, if you have a ship via that you do not want to charge freight, you can create a new ship via and map it to a particular shipping carrier and then say no freight, and that will not charge freight to the customer. So that's it for the shipping interface settings. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that since we already have them mapped. Product keys, where you enter your activation key when you install the system, we provide you with that key. And international tab would be where you enter how do you want to handle the commodity types. Each item is a commodity. Summarize the items into one commodity or no commodity. And then here's where you can enter your AES number field from the sales order, shipment, or invoice. So once you're done with this, pretty much you're ready to ship. The next thing would be to the additional setups. Another thing I want to show you here is that you can we have a shipping box maintenance, which it allows to basically add your inventory of boxes and sizes so you can use them in the shipping system. That's only available in the Pro version. Okay, so so let me touch that a little later, but just showing you kind of the additional screens that you have here. Address book maintenance. This is kind of like an address book that we allow you to maintain for when you're shipping things that are not to a customer or a vendor. You can just go in there and maintain addresses, and and pick from them when you're shipping as well. So that would be pretty much as far as the settings. That's it. The next step would be basically to open the shipping interface. This is where you actually perform all your shipping in the light version. And again, I'm showing the light version right now first, and this basically would be the screen that you do most of your shipping from. Here, if you remember on the setup, I said what default document you want to use, and I selected sales order, but you can change it right here on the fly. Here you would either scan or enter the order number, so you can add a barcode to your packing list or pick list, and then just scan it. Or if you know the order number, you can just pick it from here. I picked this order that I had entered previously. So all you have to do here is you can see that it selected already the ship via. It brought in the freight account from the customer, which I have it in their maintenance. You can add if they have a default ship via UPS or FedEx that you want to use from the customer versus you charging the customer. We have that flexibility. It brings all the information. You can override it right here for the ship to, but this is grabbing the ship to from the sales order. Again, it brought in the reference 1 and reference 2, which is basically the PO number and sales order number. If there was an AES number, it would bring it as well. You can see that it's bringing declared value of 137 because we had the minimum declared value to send is $100, so this exceeds the $100, so it brings it in. And the default email address of the system. Okay, that's pretty much all you need to create a shipment. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on the ShipIt button, and give me 1 second actually. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and create the shipment by clicking on the button for ShipIt, and this will automatically open the shipping screen, populating all the fields from AccountMate. You can see that is one box. It brought all the information here. It brought in the account that is going to be billed to, the email, for notification purposes. And then here you can put in the weight. If you have an electronic scale, we do support electronic scales as well. So here I'm just going to go ahead and put in, let's say, 2 pounds for this package. You can see that the declared value came in, and the reference 1 and reference 2. Here you can add your box sizes. On the light version, we do not have box inventory, so you have to manually type in the dimensions of the box. And here you have, if you want delivery confirmations, all these settings can be set as default to whatever your desired settings are, and then they will be saved for all the shipments as well. Here is telling you that the estimated cost for this package is going to be $11.47, and all you have to do at this point, if you can add more boxes, so you can just clear, for example, click add another package here, put the pounds for the next package if you have a declared value, or you can just delete that package if you want to. In this case, I'm just going to create one package for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and say ship. At this point, what is happening is just creating the label for us and sending notification emails. And since I don't have obviously a printer, I would like to, I'm actually sending it to PDF at this point, which is down here already. So this is the test label that we printed. And obviously we support all UPS compatible thermal printers. There's a list on our website for the printers that we support and the electronic scales as well. After I finish that, it automatically closes and it goes to the next box. The next step at this point is, you can keep shipping, but what I want to show you is that package that we just sent, here it tells you that there's already a tracking number for it. And at this point, what you can do is just, if you see a tracking number, you can actually click on the tracking number, and that will allow you to track the package with UPS by just clicking on the hyperlink. At this point, obviously, it's going to return that there's no information on that package because it hasn't been picked up. But here's the tracking number. It automatically calls it for you. If this was FedEx, it will call the FedEx screen or USPS screen. The other thing we have here is you can actually click on print, and this will print you a report that you can send to the customer with the information about each package and what it was inside each package. You can see here, the package weight, the value, and the tracking number as well. Okay, so that is pretty handy if a customer calls and you want to just fax them or email them this document. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to show you is how we ship with the Pro version. So far, what I just demoed just now is the light version. You can see that there's no contents defined at this point. We don't have the quick ship either in the light version. And so to ship with the Pro version, that's a little more integrated into AccountMate as far as the process of shipping as an existing sales order. So I'm going to show you that process right now. Here I'm going to go and click on the, give me 1 second. I'm going to go to sales orders, ship a sales order, which is what we use for that. And here we select an order that I previously entered. You can see that there's 2 line items, and it also has the ship via for this is going to be UPS. And so I'm going to go ahead and say ship all. So I'm shipping all items here. So far, everything is normal in AccountMate. You go to ship it. When you go to save it here, this is where the magic begins. So basically here you can go ahead and ship another package, but if you want to do the labels at this point, you click on this Ship It button and the shipping screen comes up. Okay, so which is the same screen that we were looking at before, but now you have the availability of defining contents for each item. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So let's say I have a bookcase and I want to add all these pieces into box number 1. If you notice, it automatically created box number 1. Here I can select what box size it is with the database. And the next thing is I'll go to the next item and say I actually want to add a new box, and I'm going to take this item and add all pieces to that second box. So all my boxes are defined. I say the next box size in there, and I'm done with it. Now, if you want to rearrange, you can always take pieces from the, if you highlight each box on the top, it will tell you what the contents are of each one, and then you can move them back and move them to another box if you want to. Okay, click on close, and at this point we can basically click on ship. And if you can tell here that it generated 2 packages. Now I didn't put in to automatically bring in the weight, but we could have if we want to define the weight ahead of time, or if you're using an electronic scale, you can just use the electronic scale to weight each package. So we handle both ways. So you can see that it created 2 boxes, right? I'm going to create I'm going to put in the weight for each package here. Okay, and then I'm going to say ship, and this will create a shipment with 2 labels, right? Box number 1 and box number 2. And then I'm going to close that, and then I go to the next transaction, and or you can print any of the picking list or invoices at this point. So I go here, next transaction, it clears everything, and you go to the next one. So you can see that the level of integration is better in the Pro. Other things that are available in the Pro is integration with AccountDart warehouse management system. We have a paperless pick and pack option that we offer with Irwin in AccountDart, and it allows you to basically turn your entire process of shipping completely paperless if you want to, as well as it allows you to scan items into the boxes and define the boxes ahead of time, and then you just have a special screen at the end that has all the packages defined, and all you have to do is print the labels basically. So the next thing would be, so the next thing I want to show you is in the shipping interface, whether it's Pro or not, you can actually call in this another order, and we have this thing called Quick Ship. Quick Ship is actually allows you to, if you have packages that you're sending out that are, for example, 20 boxes, and you can actually say, I want to do a quick ship for this order. It's 20 boxes. They're all weight the same. They're all the same length, width, and height. And so this basically saves you a lot of time clicking. So let's say if I create here 5 boxes, and let's say the weight of each box is 2 pounds, and the dimensions of the box is 2 by 5 by 10. I can click on quick ship basically, and this will create 5 boxes for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see, they all have the same information, same weight, and they all have the dimensions created. So that's another way that another feature that we have in there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say ship on that, and these are all the labels that printed. Obviously, we don't want to see them all. It tells me the total package, and that's it pretty much. It's asking me if I want to process the end of day. So one thing that I wanted to show that I didn't show before was on the orders. So on the one of the packages that we created from the ship sales order previously, if you go here to view that last invoice that we created, just want to show you how it actually went ahead and added the freight information to the order. Okay, So it does do that, and it totalizes everything. Um, Another thing we have actually that is pretty handy, it's and this is on both the Pro and the Lite version, is that you can we have this option here called ship tracking by invoice. And so you don't have to have a license for ShipIt on every workstation. So anybody in the company that works for you can go in here and type in the invoice number, and they can basically see the tracking number right there and track information for UPS without having to have a license for the system. So it's kind of handy. So this allows you to, it gives you the information, and it also gives you, if there's multiple boxes, you can see that box number one, then box number two, and what the contents were, and the declared values and everything. And here we have also the preview and print the shipment tracking information. So here you can see that you have two boxes, the tracking number for each box and the contents for each box as well. Again, very handy tool for customer service. Okay. The other thing we have that I would like to show now is a little bit on the side of the shipping engine, where a lot of the setups happen. If I open my shipping interface screen, you can click here on View Shipments button, and it's asking me if I want to do my end of the day. So here's all the boxes that I shipped today. This is all the ones that we just been doing. You can actually you can reprint labels from here. You can track a box from here. You can email tracking information, or you can void a package right through here. But we also have the capability of voiding packages inside AccountMate, so you don't have to do it in here. Okay. Another thing that we have here is you can close the day, print a report, or on the that would be basically in there. So that would be looking at shipments. The other thing, so to look at the settings on the ShipIt interface, the ShipRush, I'm sorry. I'm going to minimize this. 1 second. Close all tabs. And I am going to bring in the ShipRush UPS interface. And this allows you to, this is where you set up all your things. So this can be open all the time. You can do your process end of day, and this is where your settings are for the shipping. So going from top to bottom, this is where you do your rates. You can do markup rates, so you can add a 10% on top of whatever the freight charges are. You can do a fixed markup instead of a percentage. So maybe you want to add $2 per package. You want to, I'm sorry, that's per shipment. Or you want to add a handling fee, or if there's a minimum shipping charge. Also, this is where you enter your fuel surcharges from UPS. You don't have to do that in FedEx, but in UPS you do. The next thing is how you do your printers. If you do fast printing or ask on every shipment, you have your setup for your label printer and your manifest printer, electronic scale. If you select one here, you can select from the list here. Again, we have a list of compatible scales in our website that you can look at. The other thing would be this is where you do like address validation, for example. We have address validation for USA addresses, basic, robust, or strict. The basic basically would make sure it would verify to see if the address that you're shipping to is residential and flag it automatically. The robust will basically do all whatever basic does, plus it corrects invalid city, state, and zip code. And strict, it will fail and not allow you to ship on any invalid building or street address or unit. So So you have those choices in there. Shipment defaults, and again, this is all the defaults that you want to use if you are shipping manually. In advance, you have the option to, this is where to change various settings. It's a lot to go through, but on this session, but um, it allows you to tell what internet connection you have, international, if you want to override currency, uh, how do you want to handle the closing at the end of the day, um, connection settings, that's if you're using multi-user. Email settings, the system allows you to use the UPS and FedEx built-in, or you can use your own SMTP server as well. Okay. UPS account, this is where you set up your accounts. You can have multiple accounts set up in here. I know some customers deal with, like, for example, Walmart, and Walmart gives them a UPS account to use to do all the billing on that. And you can add Walmart as well, or yours. And when you're shipping, it will ask you which account you want to use. So that's pretty handy. Tax identification number, that's for exporting purposes. Here on the profiles, you can have multiple profiles, so you can have multiple different. If you have 4 or 5 companies and you want to ship in behalf and print the labels in behalf of one of your customers, you can do that as well. Notifications, how do you want to handle notifications? Automatic returns, we handle that as well. Customs, this would be where you set up all your NAFTA information and anything to do with international. And if you have a special 100-weight contract information, you can put it in here. Okay. So that's it pretty much for the setup. Obviously, UPS has its own, FedEx has its own. The other thing you can do here through the icon is you can actually, if you don't want to ship through AccountMate and you want to ship a package directly, you can actually go in here and say, okay, I want to ship something UPS ground. So this will open and you can basically type in the information here. This is what I was showing you, where you can select, if you have a profile for multiple different companies, you can select the one you're sending. This is where you are, the address that you're sending to. So in the lookup, this will show you all the previous shipments that you have done. And here's where you would actually go and reverse this to create a electronic pickup for a customer. So by clicking this, it reverses the from and it sends it to here. And when you save it, it will actually send the label to, or print the label for you if you want to, or do it electronically, whichever way you want to. The other thing you can do here is so like how you're gonna if you're gonna be prepaying, freight, collect, third party, hold for pickup, all the different settings that you can use. If you want to change the service from ground to next day and all that, you can do that. You can also get a quote on the so let's say I put weight 2 in there. I can actually, you can see that it automatically tells me what the charges are going to be for each one of these, right? So if you do next day saver or next day air, it'll give you all the prices right there on the fly. And again, if you want to expand here, delivery confirmation, you want to use that service, we have that. Some of these services are billable by UPS, so just be careful with that. COD information, I don't really know many people that do CODs, but still handle and support it. And that is pretty much as far as this is concerned. Now, for international, when the system detects that it's a different country, it automatically loads the international tab there where it says description of goods and all that. In the Pro version, we handle some of these automatically, and you can set up a lot of these defaults automatically. Remember the AES number. If you have one and you're sending it from AccountMate, it will populate it here automatically. It will do electronic, it will do paperless invoice for you, as well as printing any documents, export documents into your printer. So we handle both electronic and manual printing as well for international packages. Okay, and that's it pretty much. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, please contact us at you can go to our website at akaconsulting.com, or you can give us a call at 718-351-5200 extension 101. I'm more than happy to provide you with another demo. If I miss something that you didn't see here that you would like to see, more than happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for attending, and have a great day.